Welcome back to the garden, everyone. Join me as I take a walk around my garden for my June 2025 garden tour. We'll start where we always do, just as you come down the decking, and where we started last month with the Manihawk Grahami. You can see now the leaves have opened up much better. Lovely serrated edge to that. Love how deeply cut these are, and it's growing quite nicely now. We spoke about this a few times, so I'll not dwell on this too long. But yeah, it's growing lovely this now. It's put on a good few inches of growth on this now. So, and it's multi-headed. So I think I'll probably this winter or this autumn take some cuttings of this. We generally lose some height on it anyway, so it'd be nice to get a couple extra plants. But yeah, that's looking nice here. I think I'll definitely plant this one next year. I've had some information on people who's managed to get them through, and I'm willing to at least risk one of them out. I do have two of them. So around here last month we didn't have the begonias up. So this is the begonia toss that was not up last month. It's still quite small, this one, the smallest one probably that I've got. But yeah, the Lysimachia creeping Jenny, this one's spreading quite nicely now. I've actually took a couple of cuttings from this week, just because wherever it touches it tends to root out down. So I've took a couple of cuttings, spread that around the garden. It looks brilliant, that does, as it just creeps along. It's going to creep over all these rocks. Brilliant. And I've also noticed this week a couple more begonias popping up in there. I've moved a couple as well. So yeah, can't really have too many of these begonia tosses. They look great. Got quite a few now knocking about, and I didn't lose any over winter, so that's nice because they can be easy to lose some begonias, but these have proven to be very hardy for me. I always show you this because it's my favourite palm. It's my Fortunei cross Princeps. You can see this spear's really coming on now. There's two in there. That one's just about ready to open. That next month that'll be fully open, and the next one probably be in the same position that one currently is. I'm feeding and watering this quite a lot this year. I really want to get it kicked into growth, and if you can see this, but it is starting to trunk a little bit now. It's getting there, and you can see where all the fuzz is. That's where it's grown this year. It's pushing out quite a few leaves this year, and I'm really impressed with that, so I'm happy at that. We've got my variegated corn here. Not all of them variegated, but the ones that are had a nice splash of colour. Two of them, and they tie in nicely with the Arundodonax variegata, which also has, very windy this morning. It does have a bit of pink to the stem as well, and well, that picks up, and the white variegation on the leaves, so they're tying nicely together. This is starting to shoot now. This one's up to, I don't know, 4.5 foot maybe. There's not loads of growth on it, but I can see there's a couple more growth points down the bottom, so hopefully over the next few months that gets up to full height, and it'll just fill this space nicely, because the shoots that's on it currently, how these come from last year, and these are what I got it with. So yeah, they're looking a bit tatty now, but they're not this year's growth, so as they're replaced by this year's, yeah, it'll look healthier. The Persicaria's filled out a lot. I keep trimming this back because it encroaches on the path quite a lot, but it contrasts nicely against all the green. It's a nice popper colour, is that. And I showed you last month the Schefflera Taiwaniana that was just opening up with its umbrella like leaves, and now they've opened up really nicely, and this is definitely my favourite one of these in the garden. It's got those really dark green leaves. The other Taiwaniana I have all seem to have more of a lime green colour, so I'm really happy with this one. It's definitely my favourite one. And another reason I keep trimming this back is just to show off those leaves even more. I think 2 days ago you could hardly see these leaves. This had grown that much over the previous week, so I just keep trimming it back. This border, yeah, starting to fill in quite nicely now. And as you look, I like this view now, where you can hardly even see. It looks like I've just got a little small garden, and then you don't even see where that path goes. I love that. Just makes you want to explore. So as we turn around, this bed here has been planted up quite a little bit now, because last month I'd not got much in it. So I told you the Schefflera delavei was going to be planted here. I've now planted that. I've amended some of the soil around it, well, quite a bit of this area to be fair. I still just need to mulch it, but that's going to grow into a nice plant in this area. That's going to fill a good part of this area. And then I visited earlier in the month, I visited Sunk Island and I picked up this Aurelia variegata, and this should grow pretty quickly and form a nice canopy here. And then the Schefflera will just underplant that as that grows and bushes out. It's more of a bushy type Schefflera, this one. So hopefully that the Aurelia will just outpace that for height, and then this can fill out all the space underneath, and then it'll leave me room for underplanting. Currently just got a pink china in, some coleus, and then this is just a shop bought colocasia, like an Edo. These normally go really well for me. This only went in yesterday, and again needs another water because that's dried out a lot. This is the Iris confusa. I can't remember if this were flowering last month. Love the little delicate flowers on that, beautiful. So this, in time, I don't think it'll take that long. This will fill out quite nicely, this will. The waggy in a pot, that's not going there. It just adds a little bit of height to this as you come around walk around the path. Other than that, it's not going to be getting planted in this spot because there is a couple of palms in here. And if you can see just at the back, I'll zoom a little bit. So it's a really small Trachycarpus nanitale. It's been in a pot for a while. I've grown that from a 2-leaf seedling. It's just about getting some true leaves on it now. And then I had a tiny little waggy that's also in there. That as the Aurelia and the cordline, I keep trimming the cordline back as it grows. That'll give it more and more light, and that'll just fill out over the coming years. I'm not in a rush for that one to get overly big. You know, I'm not going to race for that one to get large, but it'll just be a nice palm as it grows. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this bed currently, but next year and the year after is when it's really going to, you know, take shape. I'm excited to see this bit grow. I'll just show you this because I'm not really showing it too much on the channel. This is my Brassioopsis dummicola. It's my favourite of the Brassioopsis, and it's the only one I've got. That's not the reason it's my favourite, but it's the one I sought after and I was really trying to get. It had been really slow to get going. I thought, God, it's a bit of a dud this, but in the last couple of weeks it's throwing out some leaves and they're starting to size up now, and there's more growth coming. So I've get it a bit better spot now because I think it was maybe a bit shady where it was. So I've just brought it up in, and it might be ready for potting on soon as well. So might have done that by the next month's tour. So as we go around, then we'll see some other stuff that I've bought from Sunk Island, including this Sonchus. I think this is linearifolia, is it? I'll double check and I'll put the name on the screen in case I'm wrong with that. But I've never grown one of these before. I picked this up. It was, I don't know when I went, maybe 3 weeks ago. It's tripled in size over that time. So I'm impressed at that. A little bit of bedding plants in here, some zinnias. There was pink china in here somewhere. There's absolutely no sign of that, so yeah, I'm presuming that's not coming back in here by now. Nearly into July now, but I've got plenty more around the garden, and still some in pots that I've propagated from previous years. The canna in here has just about come back, so that might start shooting now. It's up and in out the ground. Very slow this year. Normally by almost July they're a couple of feet tall, but I'm not too worried because there's a big dahlia behind it, and that's taking up all the space. It's looking fantastic. Lovely big flowers on that one. I forget how big this gets every year, and it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it tends to, again, another year where I've just not tied it back. There is some stakes in there, and every year I forget to tie it back, and it grows so rapid that I just forget. My small waggy princeps down there, again shaded out by the dahlia, but it's growing quite nicely. And then this Fatsia camouflage, which has just never never really grown. It doesn't seem to put any leaf size. So I think this is its third year, and look at it, it's pathetic really. It don't grow, but I presume it will do at some point. The ivy's growing back where I hacked it back, which I don't mind because it gives that nice backdrop, but I still do need to cut off this overhang. But that's not a job that's going to be happening at least till later in the year now. As always, I show you this palm growing nicely, fastest growing palm in the garden. Now it's really starting to motor. As you can see, it's pushing 3 spears at once here, and there might be another one behind that I can't see, but always looks good. And as I've said in previous videos, it'll soon outpace this sickly looking one. What we got down here? My daylilies are looking nice. Hemeracalis, this one is Tiger's Eyes, I think this one. Looks really nice. Last night actually when I was in the garden, this didn't have any flowers on, so happy to see it's flowering, ready for the video. So here we've got a colocasia from Sunk Island. I can't actually remember which one this is, so if I can find the label for it. I forgot to stick a label in the ground when I planted it, that's my bad. But it looks nice here. It's got a bit of a shiny leaf to this, but I have forgot which one this is, so sorry about that. In this spot, oh, I've just seen this week as well, my Tetrapanax has just started to flush. It's just flushing. Quite late in the year for these to flush, isn't it? But yeah, that'll carry on growing now. Happy at that. The Fatsia variegata, this seems to have took to being transplanted really well. I was expecting a lot more leaf dieback than this, but it barely lost anything. So that's going to fill out this space nicely in time. Because as I've mentioned many times before, this has always been the border I've never really been happy with. Well, it's filling out. There's a lot of summer bedding, you see, so I need more evergreen stuff. So with the Fatsia that's in there, I recently planted a Schefflera rhododendrofolia in there, but that's just buried between all the summer bedding now, but that'll continue to grow. The Xanthodecia Hercules looks great. The flowers just going past now, but it still looks fantastic. Yeah, beautiful plant that. Got a couple of divisions off that, and I'll be definitely using more in the garden. I think one's going to go around the pond at some point. Another purchase from Sunk Island, a plant that I've been after for a long time, never managed to find one, is this canna bird of paradise. And actually the last couple of times I've been to Sunk Island, I've asked for them, they've not had them available, or they've only had one left, and that was their propagation material, but I've managed to get one this time, and that's going really nicely now. And I can see there's actually another one coming up. This one will be getting dug up this winter. I'm not going to risk this one out because I've been after it for so long. I actually lost quite a few canna Musa foliage in the ground this last winter, and they're normally bulletproof for me. So yeah, I'm not going to risk this one. The Ligularia rocket is just about starting to flower, if we can see that. In another couple of days that'll be nicely in flower. And then now the inset Morellii looking good. It is starting to motor now. I said last month I didn't think it had moved, but it definitely has since the previous tour video. I'm really impressed with that now. It does dominate this space. I think it pairs really nicely with the Tetrapanax, that again, this is the look I've been after for a couple of years now, and it's finally getting up and above the summer house where I want it to be, and so I can walk under these giant leaves as I walk down the path. Now the other day I did actually cut off just a couple of leaves off the pup of that one, because it was, I mean, you can see just how tight it is now, which I love this look, but it was impossible to get down. So I've took a couple of leaves off, and to be honest, you don't really notice, it's still that full and it looks fantastic. I'll just show you. I removed some pups last year, and you can see new ones coming up. They don't have the characteristic cut leaves yet, but this is what the Tetrapanax look like when they first come up. You see a little pup there, and actually if you look down here, really tiny. That's another Tetrapanax pup there. They're the only two that I have seen so far. The only two that I hope come up. Be nice not to have to remove too many again next year. This is Persicaria painter's palette. It's starting to take off now. After when I first put it in, I think it was a bit too sunny here for it, but as the garden's grown a little bit over the last couple of months, it's settled in. It's looking great now. And then here is my Colocasia Jack's Giant. It's not exactly massive, but over the next couple of months, this is when Colocasia really start to kick into growth and grow. And I'll probably just remove this sunset leaf will come off soon, just to give it a bit more light and a bit more space as that grows up, because there should be no reason that the leaf doesn't get up into this space this year. And if needs be, there's a sunflower here. My daughter planted a load of them. I don't mind removing this, so yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's only a sunflower and I've got plenty more, but we'll go take a look over here at the tallest sunflower of my daughter's. So you see, I don't know, 6 foot maybe, or just short of 6 foot. Yeah, she's proud of this. She waters it every day, bless her. It's looking really nice. Another shot of that amazing Schefflera Taiwaniana. Underplanting that then, we've got another shop bought Edo. I always just pick these up from Tesco every year. Sometimes they'll come through in the ground, other times not, but for a couple of pence a tuber, you can't really go wrong. And yeah, these do get a good sized leaf. That's only its first leaf. I tend to get these going really early in the year normally, but this year I've not managed to do it. So yeah, they're a bit further behind. We've got here a Bohemeria. I'm not too sure which one this is. Maybe Trifolia, is it? Something like that. That has a nice, don't know how much you can see. They have a nice cut leaf to them, look at that, beautiful. Part of the nettle family, but these ones, they don't carry a sting. Just a nice little foliage plant. And actually I've already, even though it's only small, I've already propagated it. Took a couple of little cuttings off, that allows it to bush out, side branch and not get too leggy, and just duplicates my plant. So if I was to lose this, I've got backups. The Pilea's filling out now as well. I do like this little foliage plant. It's really starting to fill this space nicely, and I think next month's, with all the little side shoots you can see on it, I think next month's tour video this will look fantastic. There you go, there's what we were talking about before. Some more of the Rhododendrons coming up. I've planted this begonia, I forget which one this is, one of the ones beginning with P, I probably can't pronounce, but I'll put the name up on screen for you. And I think, I never knew what the other begonia were, I just bought it as a hardy begonia, and I think it could be the same one. You see this one, nice cut leaves. That one's got a piece missing though, so it's hard to fully see. I'm not sure if that's the exact same begonia or not, but that's been in the ground a couple of years now. Comes back every year, no problem. Persicaria Compton's form, sizing up quite nicely now. This has quite large leaves, quite a large leaf Persicaria. That it's not so vigorous like some of the others, but yeah, it commands a little spot in the garden. I do like that one. Another recent purchase from Sunk Island is this, which is Salvia convertiflora. Again, this is really sized up since I purchased it, the same time as I got the Aurelia. No signs of flowers yet, but a good sized leaf on that. I mean, just step back, you can see it's a nice plant. It's one I'm going to take some cuttings of this year. Save me buying it again next year, hopefully get it through the winter. Underplanting that, we've got some of the coleus, which I planted 3 of here. They'll soon have merged into one giant plant around this corn. This one has actually got, as it's growing now, has actually got some nice pink to it. This one was planted as a solo one just because it was the last one I had left, so I just thought I'd pop it in. And it was just pretty green, this, but as it's sized up, it's probably got some of the best colour in the garden of all the Z-mays that I've planted. So really impressed with that one. And then this is what we're talking about with the the other Schefflera Taiwaniana, much lime green, much more lime green to it. But still a nice plant in its own right. I just prefer that really dark green of the other one. And then if we look here, my sickly looking loquat, I dug this up about a week ago because it had absolutely no light whatsoever. My dad's got one of these, we bought it at the same time. It's just triple the size of it, maybe more than that. Starting to turn into a nice little plant. Mine's barely grown in the last 6 months. So I've dug it up, put it in a pot, and I'll let it grow on for a little bit longer. Probably plant it back out next year or something. My only remaining Colocasia metallica, but this will pup and I'll take some pups off it. These always grow fantastic for me. Nice big leaves on it. Tend to be no fuss, but the one that I left in the ground didn't come back. This is one that I overwintered in the greenhouse. So this was my backup plant and I'm having to use it, but that's the reason you take your backups. The Eucomis is going to be flowering soon. I've got some over here, I'll show you in a second, that are flowering. This is your Alstroemeria Indian summer. This looks like it's on fire, it's beautiful. And there's flowers like this all summer long. Anyone that doesn't have this, I'd recommend putting this in your garden. It's a beautiful plant. So we'll have a look then at the Eucomis that are flowering, but as I've said quite a few times, this Tetrapanax is very large, and then the hostas have gone mad this year. So you can't actually, I might chop some of these back so you can see them, but if you look under here, they are all starting to flower. They have nice little unusual flowers on them. Just yesterday I took this out, Tetrapanax pup that keeps coming from under the rocks. I keep knocking it back and it's persistent, it keeps growing, but I can't allow that to grow from there because it's too crowded here anyway, and yeah, it's not an ideal spot for it, and there's plenty else in this area. Another little pile here. This is a lovely one. Really nice glossy leaves. This was another gift I was given last year. I'm really impressed with this. I don't know if it would have got a lot bigger if it wasn't in this spot, which is quite congested, shady little spot. And this is a plant I'm really impressed with. If I were to lose these cord lines at any point, I think I would divide this hellebore and just have it encircling all of the Trachycarpus, because it looks like this all year long. Beautiful mottled leaves, flowers late winter, early spring. Looks great. All those have gone now, but yeah, the foliage on it looks fantastic, and that's what I want more of in the garden, evergreen structure. So yeah, if these two cord lines like die at any point, then that is definitely a plan that I'm going to do. Just swap that, divide it. I think I've got another one somewhere else that I could probably move anyway, so I won't have to divide this one, and just pop it next to it. I have no idea where this Cricosmia has come from. I never planted it, or not that I remember, but there's just one solitary Cricosmia. This will be a Lucifer one. Yeah, I'm not sure where that's come from, but it can stay because it's just about to flower. I've got plenty more in the garden, but just not here as far as I was aware. Moving on, we've got the Colocasia galligonensis, showing that lovely black colour to it. It's dark green, navy blue almost. Yeah, leaf patterning. This is one of my favourite Colocasia. I prefer it to pink china, but I've mentioned in previous videos, don't tend to get too much luck with it coming back, but this one's come back, and I'll show you another one that I've recently noticed that has come back as well. But I'm going to take some cuttings off this as the runners come, and I'm going to copy Tony Shep over at Monton Gardens technique. I saw he did a video last year how he propagated them en masse. I think I'll do that, give myself plenty of opportunity to have more of these in the garden. The heartstongue fern always looks nice. And my Empress Woo, Hosta Empress Woo, is really sizing up now. As you can see, this hosta here, yeah, flowering a lot now. The bees absolutely love this. but it does make it until once these have almost passed now. So once the flowers are finished, I'll cut all these back, because it does look like it limits me going down the path quite a lot now. Push our way through the jungle. So then here we've got, this is my Rheum palmatum, and I want to expect it to get quite this big this year. I know that they get big, but this is the first year I've had it. I've only had it a couple of months, and look at the size of it. It's burying everything. So again, this is another plant that will probably end up getting moved, and I think it'll go around into the new section this year. Yeah, I think we'll have it round in the new section next year when that's ready, or somewhere around near the pond, just because it dominates this space a little too big. And obviously when this dies back in winter time, it's a big space that's just going to be empty. And for the island bed here, this wants to be the more evergreen structure, just so that when I see this from the house, it looks good all year round. And my more herbaceous plants and experimental plants can all go at the bottom, where I don't mind if it doesn't look so great all year round. I won't see it from the house. And so I mentioned the other Colocasia galliganensis. We've got a tiny little pup down here. Now I have got pink china planted just above it, but this is definitely not a pink china. So yeah, we're going to have a pink china and a galliganensis very close to each other. And maybe, so the main plant of the galliganensis died off here over winter, but maybe there could be other little ones that have popped up over winter. Well, recently survived over winter, but as you can see, I can't really get in that much, so I'm not going rooting around. And the Colocasia pink china are not really going to do amazing here now. When I planted these here maybe 2 months ago, the Rheum was so small compared to what it is now as the sun comes out now. Oh, there's another, I think this is this Taiwan silver is this one. I bought this tiny from Sunk Island. This one was earlier in the year. Tiny little plant. I thought, oh, this will work nicely here. Again, you just walk past it, you don't even see it. I think I've mentioned before as well, this ginger, not sure which one it is because I never planted a ginger on this corner. So I don't know if there was a bit of rhizome in something I planted here, but it's popped up. And I did, a few months ago, I snapped off one of the early leaves and I knocked it back a bit, but it's growing perfectly fine now. We'll see if that flowers this year. I'm not sure it will, but it'd be nice if we had a little flower as we walk down here. I'll just show you a little bit of progress, what's happened on this area, this is going to be my new patio area. As you can see, I've got the sleeper edgings in, I've got the echo drain, which I've got the red. If you look here, you'll see the red, that's the echo drains. You'll take that red cap out and that's where the drainage goes, and it goes down into a soakaway down in that corner. We'll take a look down here. More of the variegated sweet corn, the Z-Mace japonica. This one only really has one that's got any pink on it, but it fills a nice little space and it looks quite, as it catches the wind like it is doing now, it looks quite nice. The Gunneria cryptica growing nicely now. Just got a new recent leaf that's coming out. That one's gonna, I like the way that's going straight up, and that one should be bigger than this one shortly, I'm hoping. And then yeah, this is going to really fill out this space, but it'll be much bigger next year. But I'm extremely happy with how big it is this year. A couple of little Trachycarpus seedlings here that have been going on for a few years. So my Trachycarpus nova looks like it's just sending out a new spear. That was the one that it sent out recently, a little bit of winter damage on it, but that was in a pot, a smallish pot just outside all winter, so it took a bit of damage, but hopefully now it's in the ground, bit of protection down here. I think it'll this should move nicely. Showed you this one before, but that's my Tetrapanax. This one's another one from Sunk Island. This one's from Sean's garden. It's a pup from Sean's garden. This is the one he calls giant on steroids. So not a true steroidal giant, but he says this gets absolutely monstrous. So yeah, it's not getting planted here, but for now, until the space ready for it's here, and that's just where I'm planting. It's just in its pot, as you can see, but that will be moved. Another little end set just used as bedding down here while the rest of the bed fills out. Same with the corn again. And I did plant a tiny pink china, which, yes, it was really small when it went in. So I'll just allow this to stay in here and hopefully run throughout this border and just give it a nice little tropical feel in years to come as they pop up everywhere. Because this bed, as I've mentioned before, is mainly going to be for the free statement plants, which is the Barinda KR5600, which we've got plenty of new culms on, obviously quite small in comparison to the ones that it was dug up with, but in time this will size up quite nicely. And then so this bed's for the Barinda, the Trachycarpus nova, and this Gunra cryptica. It probably spans nearly 4 meters, this bed, and it is going to, when that bit of fence comes down, it is going to be extended a little bit more, maybe another meter, so it could be like a 5-meter bed. And it's mainly for those 3 plants, so I will put bedding plants and stuff around them for the years till it bulks up a good bit. But yeah, most of this is for these plants. Not a lot's happened out here. I'll just give you a quick look, but not a lot's happened. So when I dug out the patio, you can see I've used some of the soil just to start backfilling that area now. And it's too hard to get soil down here this time of year now with the way the garden's grown, so not a lot's going to happen down here till autumn time, maybe October, November, and that's when I'll really crack on. I've got a little bit of a wasp nest going on under this board, so that's every time I go down I annoy them and then they annoy me, so we just keep out of each other's way at the minute. Pond's looking nice. I'm enjoying the way this looks now. Just that natural feel to it, which was always what it was going to be. It was always intended to be a wildlife pond, and then once you have a pond, I wanted fish, so it does have fish in. They're all looking at me thinking they're going to get some food. Looks lovely. I've got a fair bit of weeds in around this pond, but I do like the way it naturalises. Until once I've finished working in this area, like with the patio and stuff, I will go around and fish out all the weeds and put some more plants in, especially as we come up here and the new path goes in. So where the new path goes in, it'll be straight through like this Cricosmia patch here. Then, because as you can see at the minute, there's lots of weeds down here, but you can't actually get to get into this area to do anything with it. So yeah, as I do that, get my path done, I'll be able to plant some nicer stuff. I think I'm going to have some sort of, because it's quite high here, it drops down to the pond, I think I'm going to have some sort of bamboo handrail or something, just some sort of physical barrier to stop me falling into the pond from here. More so for Nola, my daughter, but yeah, hopefully it's just a bit of added protection. The Fatsia is looking great, looking really nice. Getting lots of room for underplanting down here now. We've got a sickly looking cordline Torbay Dazzler in there. It seems to be coming back, but it looks pretty rubbish, so it's just tucked away under here just to recover. One of the new tree ferns I bought, the Dixonia Antarcticas, just starting to unfurl its new croziers now. So I might end up taking off this limb here of the Fatsia just to give that some room, because that's going to unfurl and want quite a lot of space here, and that's the much more centerpiece plant compared to the Fatsia. Although the Fatsia looks amazing because it's green all year round, yeah, the tree fern needs a bit of room to spread its wings. I don't know next year whether to potentially remove the large hosta there in the middle, just to give me a bit more variety, because in this section there's a hell of a lot of hostas. I don't know if you can see from this picture, but there's a lot of hostas and similar leaf styles in this bit, so I think I might just something in the middle just to break up that shape, all the same leaf shapes and stuff, so we'll see. I've got an unknown begonia here. I'm not sure what this one is. It's just in a pot. It's supposed to be hardy, but I'm unsure of what it is. But for now I've took a couple of cuttings from this, I've divided it at least. I seem to be doing okay, so then at least if I've got more than one I can trial one out. Like I said, I've no idea what this is. It gets a nice decent size leaf to it, and it actually stayed green in the greenhouse all winter, so that does leave. And I only kept it to, I think it was 2 degrees over winter, so it does, you know, give me a good indication that it might be at least semi-hardy, so we'll see. Because the begonia, this is Sterling Moon, this one also stayed in leaf over winter in the greenhouse. This is, I had one plant and I divided it, so I planted one section, and just you'll see in the pot up there there's another section of that. What else have we got around here? Nasturtiums, annual army of nasturtiums that pop up. That one's this side. I've not planted nasturtiums in a long time, but they've come back every year up until the cabbage white caterpillar gets them and just ravages them all. But at least if they take the nasturtiums, they stay off everything else. Here's another of the begonia tarsal up. This one's the one that was the original plant, and it was probably closer to where this begonia is last year. I've just moved it a little bit because in fact no, it wasn't, it was under the hosta this year. So I thought it's not going to get much light there, so I moved it, and the hostas continued to grow, and it's still almost competing for space. But the leaf's getting bigger now, but again next month it will be even bigger than that, and you can see plenty of growth on that down there. But I found quite a few little seedlings, so I've potted them up. I'm going to have plenty of them. There's also, for the first time I've noticed in the garden, a seedling from the hellebore. I presume from this one here. That'll be nice. I'm just going to leave that, see how it matures, and it can either be potted on and moved, or if I don't like it, just move it on to someone else. Oh, I'll show you the Petasites. This again, really rampant. It's taking over all this bed really. The only thing I need to do really is probably knock a bit back from the path just to give you a bit more room, because it's a little bit too tight. I do like this. The yellow mottled spot into it looks really good. The Musa basjoo, they're still growing really well, but it's been, as you can see here, perfect timing. It's been a really windy month. June's been so windy. I've not lost any height to these. I know some people's lost height to Tetrapanax and Musa basjoos and stuff. I've not lost any height, but they do look a little bit tatty. This new leaf here must have unrolled like in the last couple of days, because it's still intact pretty much. But I don't mind. I mean, that's the way they look in nature, and they're still, it gives me that height, which is what I'm after. I don't mind that they look like that too much. Moving on through, let's have a look then. So this Ligularia, I'll put the name on the screen because I can never pronounce this one. Just starting to flower now as we zoom in, and the bees are loving it. Yeah, this is looking really nice. I love to be fair, I bought it for the leaf shape. Really nice leaf shape, but then flowers gives you a lovely pop of colour. I've got another Ligularia down here that's not quite flowering yet, but that'll not be a million miles away. There was the main begonia Sterling Moon. This is still in a pot. I've just not found anywhere for it. So this here, I've not showed you anywhere else in the garden, but this was the Impatiens Omiana Pink Nerve. This one's actually a gift for someone else, so it's just in a pot, just outside. Nice little bit of colour down this section with a bit of red next to the white Brunnerer. But yeah, that's a gift for someone, so I'll be moving shortly. If I look down here, you see this really sickly Schefflera taiwaniana. I've just noticed some brambles from next door coming through, so I'll have to remove those. But I'm always happy with this come this time of year. So as you come out my greenhouse, step back. Yeah, this is always one of my favourite views. I have lost a plant though, I can't remember what I had in here. But this section here is definitely a lot better than it was last year. I just can't, I'm gonna have to go through last year's video and just have a look what I had in it, because I can't remember, but there's definitely something missing. Like I know there's another dahlia there, which again, it's one that comes back every year. I think this one might be yellow flowers on it, I can't remember, but yeah, there's definitely something missing. So at the minute it's just got, I've got a lot of propagation plants down in this area. Sorry. So we've got begonia dark side of the moon, which I've still not planted yet. Maybe that could be planted here, I'm not sure. I mean, it might look alright there. There's begonia benatichiba, a little fig. This is cordline superstar, which died back a few years ago, and it's slowly coming back. And actually, if you have noticed, there's another begonia seedling in there. I don't know what it is, probably torsa, because it's the plant I've got the most of. And this was a division I made last autumn or early winter of the Xanthodecia Hercules. That's sizing up nicely now. I think it's in a 7-litre pot. But that's definitely going to go into the new area around, either around the pond or into the new section around the back of the fence. The Monstera deliciosa always comes out in the summer months, and actually this just lived in the greenhouse, heated to 2 degrees last winter and didn't really skip a beat, so quite happy at that. I don't really know what its lowest temperatures it can take is, but it survived that for me. I'm quite happy with that. We've got another begonia painter's palette here. This one tends to struggle here. Every day almost it flops over, needs a good drink. And like I said, this is my propagation area. Although, if anyone can help me identify these little begonias, I've never had the begonias with the silver spots on, like, what, I can't remember even what they're called, silver, there's a few in there, but I've never had any of them begonias, so I'm not too sure how I've got these little seedlings. But yeah, I put these out because I saw them in the greenhouse. I just put them out because I saw those seeds in it, or well, there would have been bulbils, but I didn't know what they were, and these have just popped up in the last probably week or two. But yeah, no idea what they are, because I've not, like I say, I've never had them, so strange. And then we've got another Tetrapanax just plunge planted. This one's Tetrapanax, and this is Empress. Again, it's not getting planted there, it's going in the new section, so it's just plunge planted there because there was a little space, and it gives me a bit of leaf variety next to the giant red hot pokers. And then I also picked up Musa Bengal Tiger. Not managed to find a space for that yet, and to be honest, probably might not this year now, but I'll pot it into a larger pot so it can continue growing. Here's my lovely seed grown Manihawk Grey Army Eye. Grew this from seed last year. It's now getting to a nice size. It was potted up recently. To be honest, it's probably going to be ready again soon. But yeah, so like I say, I've got 2 of these in the garden now. So by the time I've took some cuttings, I think I'll definitely be ready to plant one in the garden. Not sure where it's going to go. I think it would look nice here, but because it definitely loses its leaves over winter for me, it's probably not going to go there, because I've said before, I think I'll remove these Musa basjoos just so that from the house I've got something more evergreen to look at. And all this would look great in this sort of time of year. The rest of the year you're just going to have a bit of a stick, aren't you? So it's not something I'm probably going to plant there. I'm still open to suggestions, so anybody that does want to put a suggestion in what I could plant here, I'm more than happy to listen to that. And I think we're about done with the tour. I don't think there's anything else that I've not showed you, but if there is anything you'd like to know what it is, just leave me a comment in the section below and I can get back to you. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video and enjoying the channel, please like and subscribe. Just helps out the channel, helps me grow. See if I can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And that's it for now. I'll see you on the next month's tour. Cheerio.